Jordan says its warplanes have carried out their first airstrikes on Islamic State's targets since the militants released a video showing the killing of a captured Jordanian pilot. On their way back, the planes flew over the village of pilot Moaz al-Kasasbeh. Their flight coincided with a visit to the village by Jordanian King Abdullah II, who was meeting the pilot's family. The king has vowed to step up the fight against island Jordan is part of a US-led coalition bombing the militants. Lieutenant Kasasbeh was captured by the militants last year after his F-16 fighter jet crashed in Syria. This week released a video showing the pilot being burned alive in a cage, sparking calls for revenge in Jordan. State television pictures on Thursday showed the king sitting sombre-faced with Saif al-Kasasbeh, the pilot's father, at a gathering in Aya village, near the city of Karak, south of the capital Amman. The king gestured to the skies as the warplanes flew overhead, media reports said. Mr. Kasasbeh told mourners that the aircraft were returning from a raid on Syria's Kuwait, the de facto capital of the militant self-declared caliphate, which spans territory in Iraq and Syria. The army did not specify the location of the airstrikes, but said in a statement that dozens of jet fighters had struck its targets, including training camps and weapons warehouses. The airstrikes were just the beginning, the statement added. State television showed people writing messages on what appeared to be missiles for the airstrikes, with one calling "is the enemies of Islam." A security official quoted by Reuters news agency said the airstrikes had targeted IS in Syria. Also on Thursday, Jordan released an imprisoned jihadi cleric, Abu Muhammad al-Makdisi, whose writings had inspired members of al-Qaeda in Iraq. Makdisi, who has previously condemned IS as a deviant organization, was detained in late 2014 for promoting jihadist views online. The reason for his release was unclear, but security sources told Reuters that Makdisi was expected to condemn the burning of the pilot. On Wednesday, Jordan responded to the killing of the pilot by executing 2 convicts, including Saif al-Rashid, a failed female suicide bomber. Last week, IS had demanded the release of Rashid in return for sparing the pilot's life. However, it is now believed that IS had in fact killed the pilot a month ago. Meanwhile, the U.S. military said that the US-led coalition had conducted a total of 9 airstrikes on its targets in Iraq, and 3 on targets in Syria, between Wednesday and Thursday morning. Those strikes hit IS units near the Syrian town of Kobane, and in 7 Iraqi cities including Fallujah, Kirkuk and Mosul, the Combined Joint Task Force said in a statement. "You are a wise monarch," Reuters quotes him as saying. "These criminals violated the rules of war in Islam and they have no humanity." Jordan is one of 4 Arab states to have taken part in the anti-IS airstrikes in Syria. The other countries are Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Qatar. U.S. officials told the BBC on Wednesday that the UAE had suspended its involvement in the strikes after Lieutenant Kasasbeh was captured in December. The New York Times quoted officials as saying the UAE wanted the Pentagon to improve its search and rescue efforts in Iraq before it resumed bombing missions.